Greetings. I am your host, Shannon Starr with RockTrue Radio. Welcome and thank you for joining us as we rock truth and absolutely nothing at all. We live in a society today where truth and for our rises consistently questioned, criticized, and altered. Within a person's ideology of God's original intent for the kingdom and for mankind. We believe that the Bible, our kingdom constitution, is inspired, infallible, inherent, and the final authority for all. RockTrue Queens is founded on He, who is the original point of reference for all things that come through eternity. The RockTrue Queens podcast is a cross-cultural response to the generational, economical, and social injustice of the kingdom women in today's society. RockTrue Queens is established for each one the lost art of embodiment as an inherent chosen daughter of the one true truth. Therefore, it is in the hidden in plain sight and transformation effect on the kingdom morals, integrity, and glory of her identity, ultimately healing the broken love language by applying kingdom principles, revelation, and knowledge. The podcast is inspired, enlighten, and highlight upcoming and established local teams and teams of trust, while also promoting Black consciousness. And awareness is not only who we are, but to whom we belong. It is absolutely a chosen renaissance. Hello, 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 fellow rock troopers.
Hey.
What's going on, ladies?
How are you?
I'm good.
Great.
What's on is dope.
Oh, yeah.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm
I like
doing
your
well.
hair.
Thank you. You glowing over there? You glowing over there, Doc?
Got my gear on.
Yeah. I just got done making my
Yeah.
my ice cream with my ginger ale for Saturday. So it's
okay.
going down.
You
Oh,
stay with
dessert
snacks
on
outside.
deck. Oh yeah, for sure. Because you gotta avoid the high fructose corn syrup.
Right. I got you.
And they look yummy.
Oh, they were delicious. Oh yeah, and super chocolatey. I'm not even like big on like chocolate and fudge, but yeah, they were right
Fudge?
on point.
Did you say fudge?
Yeah, it has like kind of like a fudge flavor because I use dark chocolate,
You got to
like
say
burnt, and then cocoa powder. Yeah, so
That's some love right there.
exactly. Okay.
Right.
Ty.
Lord Ty in the comments.
Self-love all the way.
Hey, Jazzy.
Jazzy from Inspire Me Jazzy. That is my mentor, y'all.
Yes.
Oh.
Love me some Miss Jazz.
Miss Jazz is familiar with her too. Yeah, she is an absolute doll. So listen, tonight's show is going to be a heavy hitter. Our theme for the month is self-care, and our topic for tonight is self-love, right? Self-love. So the question that I give to everyone is loving thyself worth the casualties that will be lost? I'm going to ask that again.
Wow.
Is loving thyself, yourself, worth the casualties that will be lost?
That's a tough one.
It is a tough one. It is a tough one.
I don't know. I got to check my graveyard real quick. I got to check the tombstone first, and I'll let you know.
Y'all look a little bit stumped over there. It's all right. But while we meditate on that question, let's see what our RockTrue Queens clip is and see what that's hitting for tonight.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
Yeah.
Wow.
I had a therapist tell me once, it was ironic how much love I gave out because I didn't give much to myself. She laughed, like self-love was a sick joke. I chuckled, then cried at home. I had someone tell me once I could not love anyone else until I learned to love myself. This time I got to laugh. This time the sick joke was mine, was me. Might as well wait forever. I remember hating myself at the age of 7. Journals filled to the brim with criticisms by 8. I had enough pages to stitch them into wings, to fly close enough to the sun to see my tears turn to steam, felt the wax burn on my shoulders and mold into thick skin. I was 9 when I wanted to die. 13 when I found a solution, figured if I could cut my legs enough, gravity would let me go. When it didn't, I tied a pillowcase around my neck, twisting like the rope swings I knew so well from childhood. Heard my heartbeat pound in my ears like a warning drum, then fade. I'd almost convinced myself I'd done it. When I started writing, I smeared my blood on every page to remind myself that everything beautiful has a consequence. I'd hoped to stall the clotting long enough to give myself to the craft and let myself go. I have died so many times. So when I told you that loving you almost makes life worth it, I was not joking. When I tell you that loving you almost makes me forget how much I hate myself, it is not poetry. Loving you is taking all the love I could never give myself and putting it to good use. It is reminding myself that if someone can love a dying thing this way, can hold the Lazarus of my body and give thanks for the way it holds back, if someone can kiss the scars, administer the pills, absorb the bad days, and wake up smiling next to me, then I can try to breathe again. Because self-love does not always come first, or second, or even ever. But your love be the guardrail on the ledge, be the drawers that hide all the sharp things, be the body that carries my collapsed frame into bed, be the flowers you bought. Because even though they are dying too, they still dance. Love will not heal me, will not wipe my slate of a body clean. I will always be a woman of wounds, of rope-marked neck and melted skin. Love will not heal me, but it will hold my hand if I ever heal myself, and maybe teach me a joke that I can stay alive long enough to laugh at. I love you enough to want to love myself too.
Wow, that was so powerful. Like, and it does. It's like that is a thing that people say all the time. You got to love yourself before you can love anyone else. You got to, and that's harder, for some than others, and you have to, be aware of everybody's not starting from the same place, and everybody's finish line isn't the same line. So, just kind of take what applies to you.
Wow. And that's what I was actually, before she even said that, after you said that question, how could we love anyone else if we don't love ourselves? Mm-hmm. We have to, before anything else I'm going to say is all about God, but we have to love ourselves before we love anyone else. We have to love ourselves before we could show anyone love. So with that being said, Queen, we have to love ourselves before we could show anyone love.
Absolutely. We have some comments from our viewers. Jazzy says, is loving thyself worth all the casualties that will be lost? An amazing question. Larlar28 says, powerful. Inspire Me Jazzy again says, everything beautiful has a consequence. Yes. Mm-hmm. That was, I wrote down a few of the things she said. The one that stuck out to me again was, I was 9 when I wanted to die, 13 when I found a solution, figured if I cut my legs enough, gravity would let me go. And that definitely hit me below the belt. That was a heavy hitter. And I wasn't ready for that because, think about that. Like, really meditate on what that means. That's heavy.
Yeah.
That's heavy.
Yeah. I'm going to be very transparent right now. I don't know. Are you done? Are you done, Queen?
Go ahead, Ms. A.
Sometimes we lose our identity in the process, and sometimes we think that we're not depressed, but depression is real. Depression is real. So at one point in my life, I think I was depressed. I didn't want to look at myself in the mirror because why did I think I wasn't beautiful? Till I decided to say, you know what? I am beautiful. I am chosen. I am
Mm-hmm.
wonderfully and I am wonderfully made. I am beautiful. So I had to start saying, I had to speak life to myself. And I had to start looking at myself in the mirror. And I had to write in the mirror, I am beautiful. I had to, because these are affirmations.
Yeah.
Affirmations. Self-love. Because these are things that if someone tells us when we're a child, when we grow up and someone tells us things, I said it last week. My father didn't want me to live. And he told me that when I was a child. I grew up thinking that I didn't want, I should have not been here. And I'm being very transparent. So,
It's powerful. It's heavy.
thinking that I didn't want to live, I had that. But I thank God, and I thank God and my mother that I'm still here by the grace of God. So, at one point in my life, I had depression in me. But no, not no more, because Jesus is the cure. And I am set free from that. But at one point in my life, I did have depression. So I dealt with that. I dealt with regret. I dealt with that, but not no more. So I was shamed. I was ashamed that I should have not been here. So I didn't even want to look at myself in the mirror. And that's where self-love comes. Sometimes, we have these things, the generational curses that we have to let go. So why am I saying this is? Because these are things that we carry when we're little, like you said, Queen. You said that when you were little, you wanted to cut yourself. When you were little, these are things from when we carry these things and when we're small. That's why we have to be very mindful what we tell our children. We're very mindful what we tell children. Very mindful what we say, because the tongue is very powerful. We have to speak life and not death. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Amen.
Amen. Absolutely. Selena says, so much in a child. That's one comment. So imagine all the others are children here. Exactly. Yeah, not even just from the immediate family, but the world, like the
Yes.
TV, media, things that they're constantly bombarded with, and it's all subliminal. Like it's not just something that the conscious mind holds on to. The subconscious takes it and seeds it and grows it, and then as the child is growing, those seeds are growing with them. And so even though they don't openly say, oh yeah, this is where I got this idea of myself from, that's where they got that idea of themselves from. So then you spend most of your adolescence to young adult hood trying to uproot these seeds that are ruining your garden now, because they're not growing anything that's going to bear fruit, that's going to fill your life with light and joy. These are things that's tearing you down slowly, that's sucking the nutrients out of the soil for the things that need to grow there for you to flourish as the queen that you are. And that's pretty much where I found myself, like finally getting to a point to where I finally made it through my garden, and I've checked every single plant, like it, how is this helping me? How is this aiding me? If it's not propelling me forward, it has to go. And to speak to the topic, I would say absolutely. If you're in the graveyard, that's where you need it to be, because if we try and hold on to too much stuff, we get heavy, and everything ain't meant to go where you're headed. So some things do have to fall away, some things do have to die. That doesn't mean that it can't be resurrected later, but it has to go when it needs to go. And when you hold on to things beyond its usefulness, beyond the point of where it can actually be in your, in your life and in your corner in a supportive role, then a lot of times it becomes a hindrance, or even, the obstacle that you now have to overcome is the letting go of something that's no longer serving you or adding to you in a beneficial way. And that was probably like the biggest lesson I had to learn growing up, was that people, things, ideas, all that stuff, if it's not growing with you, it has to go.
Absolutely. That's real revelation right there. Really, what Selena say? Royally, real raw and relevant. We definitely appreciate that, Doc. You are you always dropping gems and spitting fire and
I try.
No, you don't try. You do. You do. It's all right. We know you humble, but it's all good. We're gonna bring in our first guest before we open up the phone lines to our viewers. We're going to bring in Miss Chastity and get her in on the conversation.
Hey.
How you doing, Queen?
I am amazing. How are you?
You look amazing.
Thank
look
you.
amazing.
Yes, I see you are Love Month ready.
Yeah.
Yes. I had to go with the theme for my event. What's the name of this platform? People are asking on my live.
Oh, RockTrue Queens.
RockTrue Queens, and they can look at it on YouTube.
Yep.
YouTube. It's Rock Truth Radio. If you go under Rock Truth Radio, you can find it.
RockTrue Queens, Rock Truth Radio. That's how you find it. They're loving the conversation you're having right now about it.
Amen.
Oh yeah, we get to the nitty-gritty on here.
You gotta call Chaz.
You were in
we don't have to call you Big Chaz on here.
No, you call me Chaz. Big Chaz is cool, but y'all gotta call me Chaz. No Chastity.
All right, Queen Chaz. So you were in the background. What are your thoughts on the question tonight? The question tonight is loving thyself worth the casualties that will be lost?
Absolutely. Yes. Just simple. Yes. I am a strong believer in self-love, self-care, and anything that is opposing to any of that or getting in the way of any of that has to go. It's not in my life. I don't have any issues, removing myself or just not even entering a room or an environment that is not going to be self-serving. Honestly, I can't do it. So, and I do it unapologetically. I don't feel bad. Some people feel bad. Like,
right.
No, I'm like, I don't understand it. I am first before everybody, kids included. I can't put anybody before me and then take care of everybody. Like, how can I put my kids before me and then, no, I'm not putting them before me. It's me first. I have to take care of me in order to take care of them.
Right. But that doesn't mean that you're neglecting your kids either, because we get it twisted a lot of times. Like, we should be pouring and giving everything to our children, but that comes at an expense when you're not taking care of yourself. Like you said, how can you pour out of an empty cup? This past week, God had to reveal to me, not only am I trying to pour from an empty cup, but my cup was flipped upside down. So he couldn't even pour into my cup. So I'm trying to give out something that's not even there, and it's not even positioned correctly for him to be able to pour into me. That way I can give out of my overflow, so
nobody gets from my cup. You only get from the
okay. I told you better put a saucer up under there.
Run over, and whatever lands right here, this is what you get. You can't have this. No.
Right.
No.
And that's boundary. We talked about.
I'm gonna say it again. Boundaries.
That's the boundary.
On boundaries. I'm huge.
That was one of our topics last month. We talked about boundaries, and that is definitely setting a boundary right there. That's real. That's real. We're going to continue the conversation, but we want to open up our phone lines. So we are asking our viewers out there, please call in. We want to hear you. The number is 747-24-TRUTH. Again, please call in. We want you to get in on the conversation. You know, we see your comments in the chat, but we would love to hear your encouraging and beautiful voices. Again, the number is 747-24-TRUTH. And yeah, so I definitely I'm trying to remain a little bit quiet because I'm going to take it in a different direction. So I'm trying to see what everybody, you know, what you all have to say. But listen, shout out to our co-host, Michelle Virginia, who wasn't able to make it on the show tonight. We definitely want to show her some love.
Hey.
She's in the chat, of course, blowing it up. We thank you for tuning in, Michelle. We love you.
Yes.
Feel better and rest.
Yes.
It seems, and you know what? It seems like everybody that I've talked to, even outside of Rock Truth, God has been speaking rest and stillness, and it's crazy. You know, when God speaks, it's not just confined to one person or one area. It's like he speaks it across the board, across his kingdom, and it's amazing to see, to get and all that confirmation,
Amen.
So there was something else I was going to ask you, Chaz, and I completely lost it. It'll come back. But can you tell our viewers a little bit about yourself?
Okay, well, my name is Chaz. I'm from Cleveland, Ohio. I am a nurse. I am a health coach, and I am a fitness instructor. So I'm the creator of Train Pretty Dance and Fitness, the owner of Pretty Girls Train. You can Google it. I'll come right up. I've been doing that. This year will be my 7th year. It all started off as just a weight loss journey. And now it has turned into me empowering queens everywhere, all over the place. Even subscribe to my YouTube because I just finally hit my 10K on YouTube. So, but yeah, it definitely just started out. My original goal was to lose weight, do a push-up, and run a mile. That's all I wanted to do. And God had other plans.
Wow.
It's awesome.
That's a beautiful picture too. Like,
yes.
Oh, thanks.
Oh, she got plenty of them. Like, I'm telling you, Chaz's energy, like her glow, her light is like off the chain, unmatched. Like I love her energy, and like I was just trying to find my space where it's like I gotta get that. I gotta get that it thing because she got that it factor, and it's always amazing to watch. And it's so intoxicating. She'll pull you right in, and next thing you know, you twerking and having a good time and feeling good and sweating and not worrying about your knees and if you're gonna be able to get back up.
Get back up.
Somebody help you up though. If you get stuck down there, somebody gonna help you up because it's always a bunch of queens around, and they know the moves too. They'll show you the moves. If you don't catch the moves, they'll show you the moves too.
Yep, I call everybody queens. Everybody in my area queens. You come into my environment, my space, it's hey queen. If you see in my Instagram bio, it says Queen Empowerment. And being a queen, and some people get it mistaken. It also means you're not letting people run over you either.
That's good.
People, I'm like, y'all, I'm nice, but you're just not about to. You will get checked.
Okay. No, I told him, I was like, I'm not nice. I'm kind, but I'm not nice. Nice will probably let you get away with it. I'm not nice. I'm not letting you get away with it.
Yeah, so that's
kind though.
That's part of the queendom too. But yeah, so my class is filled with ladies only, and I have a wide range in age, like as young as a teenager coming with their mom, all the way up to somebody 60 years old. Like takes my class. And they may not work like we do, but they move a little bit. It's just a space where you can let go and fill your cup. I say don't bring your kids because this is about you right now. It's 1 hour.
Right.
Babysitter, come in, work out. If you virtual, I guess you can't have a babysitter. Close the door.
Right.
and let it go.
I may have missed it. What area are you from? Where are you out of?
In Cleveland?
Oh, that's you're in Cleveland. Okay,
Yeah.
I missed it. I missed.
Oh yeah, I'm in Cleveland, Ohio.
Okay. Yeah, I've never been there, but
Where are
maybe I
you?
have to tune in virtually. I'm in New Jersey. I'm
New
in
Jersey?
South Jersey. Yeah.
Okay.
Now you, this is what I was going to say to you. The video that our Queens clip. Did you get a chance to hear that? Did you see that play?
The poet.
The poem, yeah. What's your thoughts on that? Do you have like a favorite a line that really stuck out to you? Something that she said that really stuck out to you?
No. Like I heard it though. I can't repeat. My memory is not that great. Like I don't know.
She's not lying. And she always says all the time, like, I need an assistant. She never gets an assistant. She writes stuff down and she'll still forget sometimes.
When she was saying, I was like, that sounds like something I would say if I was a poet. Listen, I'm very serious. I'm very, very, very serious about self-love and self-care. I'm really serious about that. I mean, I try not to go even a week without doing something for myself.
Mm-hmm.
Like I do stuff all the time for myself. I get massages. I get chiropractic care. I get facial. I do like I don't play. And that's new.
She absolutely does.
But that's new. Like I started it last year being very serious about taking care of myself.
That's right.
And now I've been like the happiest because 2019 wasn't a good year for me mentally or anything. So in 2020, it's so funny because before 2020 started, I said, no matter what happens in 2020, it's gonna be one of the best years. And honestly, it was one of the best years.
Amen.
I hated talking about it with people because obviously what was going on.
Yeah.
2020 was one of my best years across the board. Like in love, in life, mental health, just across the board, it was the best year for me. And 2021 is going to be.
Okay. Marcel says I'm following. Yeah.
You know, and I want to say something. I always say self-love, and some people take that as a bad thing. I don't know why, but self-love, you need self-love. You need to take care of yourself. But some people see it as a bad thing when you say self-love. But if you don't take care of yourself, who else is going to do it?
Right.
You have to take care of yourself.
And only you know what you're missing. You know what you're lacking. So go and get it.
I mean, you have to take care of yourself mentally, spiritually, and emotionally.
And physically. Yeah.
And physically.
You know what, Miss Ed, society teaches us that self-love, anything self first, is selfish.
Exactly.
You know, it's not the way to go.
Selfish so many times, it's not even funny.
Exactly.
You could always put everybody else before you. Think of somebody else. And as women, we're already nurturers. You know, we already have that intuition that's already in us. You know, so we already kind of cling to and nurture everything that comes in our presence in our path. So for us to be conditioned by society on top of that, you know, it's almost like we're guilted into this thing, and then we're fighting. You know, the little girl in us is fighting and struggling to get out so that the woman in us can grow and glow. And it's like, it's a struggle. Yeah. You know, that self battle is a struggle.
Yeah.
I'm a Lalar 28 said, positive vibes and love are very much contagious. We queens pass it on while keeping a little for ourselves. And that's very much true. And what she said reminded me of something that my coach said to me this week during one of our sessions. She said, when we have positive expectations, we can yield positive results. So one of my assignments is to, whenever like there's a negative thought that comes up in my mind, or you know, a negative feeling, to replace it with something positive.
Yeah.
That's all a part of self-care, you know, because we're always conditioned to take care of everybody else. Deplete yourself, give out, pour out, give, even when you don't have anything to give. People are just taking. And, it's just like, well, dad, when, it's just one of them things. But definitely we are learning how to love ourselves, ladies. I want our viewers, and everybody, listen, it is time to take the bras off, throw them across the room somewhere,
Yeah.
on the chandelier, wherever you got to toss that joker, because it's time to let it all hang out. We're going to go on a commercial break, and when we come back, we're going to invite our next guest in, Miss Wendy.
Rock Truth got merch, y'all. Who is your true north? Who holds you down so you'll always know where you are? God, the original true north, the original point of reference. Check out our clothing line, True North, at RockTruth2.com for your kingdom culture needs. Everything from tees to sweats, men's, women's, and kids' sizes. Inez Essentials Whipped Body Butter has a wide assortment of 8-ounce body butter made with unrefined shea and mango butter, infused with vitamin E oil, coconut oil, sweet almond oil, natural mica powder, and fragrant essential oils. It is designed to heal and moisturize dry skin, and it is perfect for the whole family. Our whipped shea butter is handcrafted with a blend of natural and organic ingredients. The unicorn body butter can be customized to the scent of your choice. If a scent is not chosen, no scent will be added. Have you been searching for a custom home decor and crafts? Check out Delicious Designs. For more information, simply search Della Williamson on Facebook. Are you in need of advertisement or marketing tools? Branded in his image prints, logos, flyers. Contact us today. RockTrue Prints is ready to serve your printing and designing needs. We offer a full array of marketing tools, logos, flyers, business cards, video ads, and website designs. If you need our services for prints, we got you there too. Contact us at rocktruthradio@gmail.com for more information. Oh, wait, we back.
RockTrue got merch, y'all.
Yeah. Why does that sound like me?
Just like you.
That is my favorite part of the whole commercial. I'll be looking forward to that.
It's your twin.
All right. We're going to continue the conversation, but we are going to bring in our next guest.
Yeah.
Miss Wendy Zaremba, and I hope I'm saying her name correctly. She is a member of, what is it, Doctor?
The Fierce and Fearless Plank Squat 28
there
Challenge,
you go.
Miss Carolyn Wilson's group.
Hello.
Hey. Oh, I like this.
I know, right?
Ooh,
Hey.
Absolutely. So I'm loving this conversation. It's so amazing and just touches the hearts and soul of so many people. I mean, you're just, especially like the very first person that you had brought on. And I know that to me, like one of the things that she talked about is like she wanted to like cut off her legs just to feel something. And I felt that so many times in my life, So, I mean, that just, it hits home for so many people, I feel.
It really does, because, we have doctors and physicians and specialists for everything except for, our mental health, our brain. And then we're told that, we're kind of shunned away from seeking help. We're shamed and guilted out of reaching out. We're told that we're crazy and something is wrong with us, and I don't understand that. I don't know why does society want to relish a bunch of weaklings, You know what I mean? Like, why would you want your communities to be weak? Wouldn't you want your world to be strong? Even with all of that, nobody is the same. Everybody, has something to offer, even given in the same services. So, but it's almost like a competition. Everything is a competition
Mhm.
nowadays. It's really sad. It's really sad to see.
Right. Exactly. And what you guys are talking about with Chase too is like your kids do not need to see you saving them. They need to see you saving yourself. For
Amen.
from that, they find the strength to be everything they need to be in their life. If they see you being who you need to be, saving yourself, and being everything that you need to be through God, through Christ, through everything, they become the best version of themselves. They don't need to see you being that helicopter person saving them every step of the way. You save yourself first, and they see so much more through that than what you say. And I love that little guy.
Oh, baby Foot. We call her Foot.
Yeah.
But Doc, what is her real name?
Oh, it's Serenity Divine Prophet.
Okay.
Oh, Serenity. She's so beautiful. I love that.
Hi, Serenity.
This time
we'll learn so much more from how we are and what we do more than what we say.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Did you hear the question for tonight?
Which is?
The question was, let me get my paper because is loving thyself worth the casualties that will be lost?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because if you put your trust and faith in everything you have in Christ, so much more will come to you through that. You don't need to prove yourself to anybody but to Him. You need to be so truthful and so faithful in Him. And through that, so much strength and love and everything comes through that. Absolutely.
Yeah. I haven't quite answered that question, but so for me, the answer, of course, is definitely yes. And I ran across a quote on Facebook maybe a few months ago, and it kind of stuck with me. So the quote was basically, when I gave people enough room, or when people gave me enough space to learn how to live without them, I learned how to love myself. So a lot of times we think that someone walking out of our life, or us having to even walk away from that person, is a loss. But sometimes the loss is well worth whatever it is that you're going to gain, the peace that you're going to gain, the serenity that you're going to gain, and everything else that follows with having that peace. Because once you have peace, then that opens up the doors to many more blessings. Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So there's a verse that I read because I always spend some quiet time every day in scripture and then in meditation and prayer every morning. And so the one scripture I read was, I am with you and for you. You face nothing alone, nothing. When you feel anxious, know that you are focusing on the visible world and leaving me out of the picture. The remedy is simple. Fix your eyes not on what is seen, but is what is unseen. Verbalize your trust in me, the living one who sees you always. I will get you safely through this day and all your days. But you can find me only in the present. Each day is a precious gift from my Father. How ridiculous to guess for future gifts when today's is set before you. Receive today's gift gratefully, unwrapping and developing its depth as you savor this gift and find me. And it's so true, just finding Him in each and every moment of the day.
It is. That's a big thing is gratitude. And it's like we always turn gratitude outward to other things, to people, to situations, but we're never just grateful for ourselves. Like I'm just happy to be me. Like
Right.
that, like that's a whole different level of gratitude, because guess what? No one else could be grateful for that but you, because you're the
Right.
only you. So like that's a very personal and like special type of gratitude. And if you give yourself that every day, it's like you give yourself a special gift every single day. And that's why it's always important to pour into yourself first, because like I said, that's that special type of love that you're not going to
Absolutely.
get from anyone else, because no one can love you like you, because you're the only you.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. And it's something that like Carolyn Wilson and I like have talked about. I work with women that have undergone like many like eating disorders, whether it's overeating, undereating. I have dealt with like bulimia for like over 12 years. And you go through this bulimia and anorexia, where you go through this in your mind, you feel so unworthy. And you just feel like, if I could just look a certain way, if I could just be a certain way, if I could just be pretty enough, if I could just be skinny enough, then I am worthy. The thing is that you are worthy. You are more than enough just for who you are. You don't have to try and be something or look a certain way. Just be you. Just be so authentically you, because you were created so amazing in that person. You were created so uniquely and so lovingly, and that is all that you need to be. You don't need to prove yourself to anyone. And just that self-love and self-care, everything that we're talking about today is so important, because God loves you just as you are. He wouldn't have created you otherwise. He wants you to respect yourself and love yourself. And as you go through life in general, always like look at that and say, am I loving like the actual person like in me? Like, am I loving God in this, in what I'm doing? And one thing that I always did through my bullying and anorexia was I hated myself so much, like so much. And I just kept thinking, like, the more I hated myself, the more I tortured myself, the more I could throw up so much. Like I would like literally be throwing up and looking at that bottom of that toilet with like blood like coming out of my mouth, coming out of my nose, and sometimes even the corner of my eyes, because I hated myself so much that if I could just be someone different. And sometimes it was just if I could just feel. And for that moment, like when I was with my face down in that toilet, I felt something. It was god awful pain. That wasn't the feeling that God ever wanted me to feel. That's not the person that God wanted me to love. And it's not even like, God never created me to like hate myself so much. He loved me enough to create me. And all he wanted me to do was like love the very person I was, because he loved me for who I was. And once I stopped getting myself outside of wanting to please everyone else, wanting to be somebody for everyone else, and just be somebody for myself and love me for who I was, and really looked at him more than anybody else, that's when things started turning around. That's when I could really start just taking a breath and almost really enjoying this amazing life that God has for us. So I always look at everything, and even like I said, Carolyn Wilson and I, we talk about this. Like, I just want people to respect their bodies, feed their bodies, love their bodies, and nourish their bodies the way God has meant it for them. So that's where I come from in all of this.
Wow, that's really really powerful. Thank you for sharing that with us, because I've always had that curiosity about what that I don't know, do they call that a disease, or I've heard people refer to it as different things, but
it is very different.
Thought process was behind that, and for you to be able to break that down to us, that gives us another insight or another perspective into that. So thank you for sharing that. You mentioned Miss Carolyn So you are a part of her Fierce and Fearless.
I absolutely love her. I
Yeah.
do love her. We are like, great friends. And she has just, been an amazing person just to support people in trusting in who she is. I mean, going through everything that she's been through and surviving everything that she's gone through, trusting in herself and trusting in God just to get her through it all is just amazing, and her and I've talked about this a lot, and just getting her through that incident and being this amazing example of how you can like be one person and just realize that, hey, putting your trust and faith in something and being all that you can be and being so faithful to that. Same with me. I honestly just had to, I remember one day literally face down in the toilet, just crying because I just remember like just trying to put my head, I don't know if you guys can relate to this, but just having that coldness of a toilet sometimes. Like I remember like putting my head like on the toilet, just thinking if I could just like kind of wake up from this trance, because you would like purge and throw up so much that it would like hurt so physically, your teeth, your mouth, your throat, everything, that I would like lay my head on that toilet, just like wanting that coolness and trying to like wake up from it. And sometimes I would just fall asleep on the floor just because of the pure exhaustion of it all. And I remember one day waking up, and I just get chilled every time I talk about this. And I only told one person in my entire life this story ever. And I said, I remember a hand on my back, and there's nobody in that bathroom but me. And that hand said, but I love you. But I love you. And I just remember, I'm like, oh my God, I need help. I need help. I need to get myself out of this. And that's when I started taking steps to walk myself out of that stage. And that's that part of my life. That's when I started, researching different things on eating disorders and like the whole mental background of that stage, because it really does. An eating disorder does get into someone's head, and it literally sucks you into that. And really those voices that are in the back of your head are all those negative thoughts. Is almost like, the demons coming in, just telling you that you're not worthy, when in fact you are worthy. And it's those demons that want to take over God's true voice of saying, I love you. I'm here for you. And you are enough. So trusting in those voices, trusting in his voice, other than those other voices that are behind you saying that you're not enough, they're so drastic. And yet trusting in these voices of his word and his strength and his guidance are so much worthy, so much more worth it. And the life that you live within that is so much more beautiful and so much more worth it, I should say, than anything that you could ever imagine. So I'm just like, this like touches such a part of me that I mean, this whole topic that you guys are talking about is just so personal to me. So I love it.
I appreciate your honesty and your openness about your trials, because there's a lot of conversations about weight loss, but there's not as many vocal conversations about the other end of the spectrum, which is anorexia and bulimia. And the bulimia is the purging, and the anorexia is just the complete avoidance of eating. Mm-hmm. So that is another physical health issue. It causes a whole lot of physical issues, just not getting the proper nutrition, like you're basically malnourished. And then the purging, the bulimia, causes physical stress and strain. I remember I was probably about maybe 16 or 17. I saw a Lifetime movie about a woman who was anorexic and bulimic, and she actually tore her esophagus purging and had to get rushed to the hospital and receive emergency surgery from purging. So it is a very life-threatening disorder, and it's important that that we recognize that this is going on in all communities, and that there is help for people with those disorders.
Yes, absolutely. And every like 62 seconds someone dies of an eating disorder due to that, due to like little things. And it's so funny because I am working with Crystal Media Productions right now as for a movie with a whole eating disorder and bulimia, just like trying to open up people's eyes on what the other side is. And there is a healthy balance. There's a healthy balance of losing weight and being healthy. There's also a healthy balance of not taking that to the extreme of wanting to be perfect or look perfect, because everyone already is perfect. You just need to feel healthy in the body that you're in. You need to, be fit, be healthy, exercise, just have fun with it. Don't take it to either one of the extremes, and that's, that fine balance, and really trusting and seeking the right help and seeking the right people, and honestly just looking to God for that. The right guidance in that is all that you need.
And that was actually our topic from last week, is seeking Him. So yeah, if you do that, you'll definitely run into the people and things, because He's always going to give you the tools that you need to be your greatest, because you were created to be great.
Right.
So trust me, He's going to give you exactly what you need to do just that. So if you seek Him, you will always have the tools necessary to be your greatest.
Absolutely. And I'm all for, like, I was a dancer my whole life, and I'm all for physical fitness, and I love trying all like different crazy things, just to have fun with it, not to take it to the extremes, and that's what, like, Carolyn and I would always talk about, we are in different aspects of it. She's on the losing weight and I'm on the, gaining weight and making sure that you're eating healthy. But basically we all come to the same conclusion: is you want to nourish your body. You want to treat your body as God would treat it. You just want to feed it and exercise it and love it the way He loves you, and you should do that in all things that you do.
Absolutely. And to the gaining weight thing, like I've actually put on 10 pounds of lean muscle. So I'm like, oh, these jeans fit. I was like, but my stomach not big. So I was like, oh, okay, I did it. Oh, those squats working. So that plank challenge from last month. She see the plank challenge from last month actually like really helped me get back on top of like my core workouts. So like that helped a lot. And then just really focusing in on my nutrition and what I'm eating and cooking and stuff. So I got the cooking show, so it's like I try and make sure that I'm finding the healthier alternatives, swapping out the sugar for the honey, and even you can even do some alternative sweeteners, like they have stevia, vegan sweeteners. It's so much stuff out there. Like you can find something for everything. It's important to really focus in on you and your personal needs, and that's like probably like the core of self-love, is like really learning yourself, learning what works for you. And it's like, it's fine if you follow other people and try it, because if you don't, you won't know until you try it. You won't know if it works for you until you try it. So try it, and then if it works for you, keep it in your your bag of tricks, and if not, leave it where it's at, and that's fine. Like it doesn't have to be your thing. If it's not your thing, then that's fine.
Exactly. I love that. Absolutely.
Selena's favorite. It's a sin to be good when you're called to be great. Exactly.
Miss F, you're muted. We can't hear you, Miss F. I think you're muted. We still can't hear you. No.
Did you hit the little mic at the bottom? If it has a line on it, you're muted.
Now try to go out and come back in. Ray said, check your mic.
Oh, did you tap the screen? It'll bring the menu back up so you can see if it's muted.
Oh, he said you're not muted on his end. So
go
out and come back in. Okay. So listen, we want to thank you ladies so much for joining us today, for sharing your wisdom, your revelation, for sharing your knowledge, your heart, and just coming on here and being authentically, unapologetically you, and for allowing us, to pick your brains and welcoming us into your world. We definitely appreciate it. We want to give a shout out to Miss Carolyn, who would usually be on the show, but she's not here tonight, so we definitely want to give her a shout out. Ladies, don't go. We don't want our guests to go. It is now time for our Adjust Your
Adjust your
Crown.
crown. Yes.
Crown segment. And how we do that, the question is, how has the king had you straighten your crown this week? We'll start with Chaz, Queen Chaz.
I don't know. I didn't want to go first on that one. Yeah, this week. I don't know. I gotta think. This week, the week ain't over.
From Thursday to Thursday.
Remember, I told you about my memory. But I will say this: I have I work with patients. And for whatever reason, they have been okay for the last week. But the other day when I worked, they were just not. they were not okay at all. I never talk about work out of work. Like when I clock out, that's pretty much it. But me and God had to have a talk. Like, is this what I'm really supposed to be doing? They had me question. It was a lot going on. I was called everything up under the book and threatened and everything, which comes with the territory, but all of it came in one day. And I wasn't ready. Yeah. So much so that I wanted to call off for the rest of the days that I had scheduled. But I was reminded that I'm not supposed to do that because it was a promise that I made in terms of me and working and just being grateful for my job and sticking with it until I reach a certain goal. So I haven't hit that goal yet. So I got to do what I told him I was going to be doing in terms of, so I was reminded. So I guess that would have been a crown adjusted moment. I definitely, me and working for myself and working for somebody else has always been a struggle. And I have quit so many times and been brought back because I wasn't supposed to. Doing things without permission from God. Always asking my mother, like, how am I supposed to know when I'm supposed to do it? And like, I don't understand his voice. Like, y'all hear his voice, you guys saying he said, but I'm not understanding. Like, I don't hear it. I don't hear it. So when I think I'm supposed to quit, I quit, and then everything goes to hell. And then I have to humble myself and go back. So this last time that I went back to work, it was just like, okay, I'm gonna stay no matter what's going on. And I am, so the other day it was kind of like, I'm about to take a month off. He's like, no, you're not. Right. So, but I really wanted to take a month off. I did. I was like, I'm not scheduling myself. I'm not, but I can't do that because I don't know why I'm there. I don't know if I'm supposed to meet somebody and they haven't crossed I'm not sure, but we're going to figure it out. I'm supposed to be there right now for whatever reason, and I don't know what it is. So my crown was adjusted because I was ready to take a month off of work. And I'm not supposed to.
Because I was so wondering when you kept saying you had to work. I was like, she been having to work a lot. She was only work a couple of days a month.
He ain't playing with me right now.
He getting us all the way together. He getting us all the way together.
I have to be an example for a whole lot of queens, and I just got to do it the right way. That's all. So it's just I don't want to do it anymore and go through what I went through in 2019. So just going to continue to be faithful.
Right,
It's hard.
Okay. I mean, he does step in when we move out of order. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, he has to have you adjust your crown, and it's okay. It's okay, because when he has you adjust your crown, we know that it's
It hurts.
Oh yeah, it hurts definitely. Yeah, it's not a beautiful thing. It's not a feel good thing either. That's why this show is go on and take your bra off and throw it over there in the corner somewhere, because it's time to just be real, okay? Real uncomfortable.
Real uncomfortable.
Sure.
Real uncomfortable.
So, Queen Shaz, before you go, can you tell us our viewers how they can find you?
So I don't know if they can see my name on the screen or no. Can they see it or no? Like, can they see their names? So you can find me on all platforms. Train, TRAIN, Pretty, with WITH, Chas with the S, CHAS. On Instagram, on TikTok, on Facebook, but I would just try to find me on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. Those three I'm on heavily. If you want to get my workouts, they are on YouTube. I have tutorials up there of like all the latest songs, all of them. And TikTok, I'm pretty popular there too. I have over 72,000 followers on TikTok, and then on Instagram. So everything is Train Pretty with Chaz. And if you forget, just Google Train Pretty. I'm gonna come right up.
I love it.
Yeah, I scroll on her on my Instagram, and it'll be her in her nurse uniform, and she'll be dancing. But then it'll be like nice little nurse tips popping up on the screen. I was like, oh, I see you mixing the education with the fun.
Yeah, I'm gonna go follow you right now. While I do that, Miss Wendy, can you tell us how the King has had you straighten your crown this past week?
Oh, he sure has too. Yeah, so I've had a small difficulty with our life here. My husband has been in and out of the hospital since November, and literally this past week, he really has shown me a huge different realm. Kind of like Chaz, I, coach women with eating disorders and stuff like that, and have questioned on and off, like, what am I doing? Is this the right path for me? And really going through this whole experience with my husband, I really think that he is pushing me through, just like you said, it is not a pretty stuff whatsoever, but he just shows you your strength and his love through it all. And he's just showing me like the struggles and the strengths of what I'm going through right now is preparing me for so much more. And the more I lean into him, the more I see where I need to go in my life. And as I've pushed through this week, and I really just opened my eyes, taken one moment at a time, literally living day by day, minute by minute sometimes, instead of thinking, oh my goodness, my life's going to be this grand, this is plan A, B, and C. He actually has a better plan, the best plan in line for me. So it's literally just trusting in him each step of the way, and just being guided. And through everything that I've been dealing with him, and, figuring out like, all right, do I stay on the work job life, which a normal job is just not me. I love helping people. I love touching lives. I love speaking to people that are struggling with addictions and eating disorders, and helping people walk themselves out of that and into a life and into living how God wants you to live. Seeing that firsthand this past week really has opened my eyes to how amazing he is, and how he is just giving me little bits of miracles here and there each step of the way. So really, he has so adjusted my crown. Instead of saying, for me, make my, 60, 90, 1-year goals. It's like, I can do that, but literally trusting in him each day. And he knows the best way. So, hey, if his way is, we're going to just like detour here for a little bit, just so I can make you stronger in whatever XYZ path he takes me down. just to trust in him and know that his way is the right way. So absolutely my crown has been adjusted this week. So,
It sounds like it definitely has been adjusted, and we thank you so
really
much for sharing that with us.
Absolutely. So
Can you also tell us, tell our viewers how we can, how they can find you?
absolutely. On Facebook and Instagram at Wendy Lynn Harris. You can find me on both platforms. I'm also opening up a YouTube as well. It's not quite open yet, but yes. And then I will also be posting stuff on the up and coming movie that will be starting in April 1st, and it will be out in December. So be looking.
Awesome. We definitely will keep a lookout for that, for those things coming. Thank you, ladies, so much for joining us. Miss Ev, are you okay now?
I hope
Are you
so.
with us?
Can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
Okay. I can hear you. Yes.
Some technology problems.
All right, Miss Ev, let's go, because I know you're going to say something.
Whoa, yes, he has adjusted my crown. I just wanted to say thank you to Miss Wendy and the other young lady. Thank you so much. Oh, Miss Carolyn is in the house. Yes, Miss Carolyn. But he has adjusted my crown by showing grace to those that persecute you. By showing grace, but also by, you know my story, ladies. I go in and out to the hospital. But yeah, in and out to the hospital, but I have to trust in him. Every time I go to the hospital, I say that I go to get my tune-up. And I have to just trust in him. I have to trust in him and trust in him. Trust in him, because that's all we could do. We have to trust in him. I trust in him with my health, and I trust in him with everything. And I hear from Wendy's story just gave me some more faith and more trust. And I just want to shout out to my sister in Christ, Ramilia. She's watching us tonight. Shout out to you, sis, for supporting us tonight. Love you, sis. And that's how I have had to adjust them this week, by showing grace. By showing grace to some. By showing grace. And I'm going to say it like that. And that's about it. Amen.
Wow, that's powerful. That's powerful. Thank you for sharing that with us. I'm gonna hit the comment section real fast. Selena K says, the king has had her straighten, or the king has had me straighten my crown by showing me kingdom dependency and reminding me of his blessed assurance and provision. Rest, balance. I can't do.
Amen.
Yeah, he's been speaking rest and stillness across the board. We have Miss Carolyn Wilson in the building. Y'all know when she come in unapologetically, authentically her, okay? Rocket her.
I couldn't find my crown, but I had this, and I said it's sparkly, so that's kind of close enough, right? Oh my gosh, but I am so excited. Like I said, I just slid right on in. What's going on, Queens? How you guys? How are you all doing? Listen, I got to check. I got it. Wait a minute. I wrote it down because she said she's Googleable. I love it. Train pretty with Chaz. I'm about to train with you, Bill, because I'm like, oh, I was backstage dancing. So somebody was talking to me. Listen, y'all don't understand. I'm in my own little world right now, because when you wear your crown and when you wear it right and you see what the kingdom is doing, what the Father is doing in the kingdom, I can't help but be excited. Like, you got to go. Where to say? Go confidently in the direction of your dreams.
Amen.
Live like you imagine. Let me share why I slid in here at the last minute. I'm woo. Okay, my crown. Okay, I know we're talking about crowns. We're talking about self-love. So we got Valentine's Day coming up. But I'm single. So sometimes it don't work too well for me. But this self-love piece, is important. And it's about understanding that you're enough. And it's about understanding, you know, your crown, your worth, everything, all of those things. And then how you show up for the world. So, you know, Chad, she said, I'm going to show up and train pretty. You know, like we all show up the way we show up. Wendy, she shows up to say, hey, listen, you know, I understand about eating disorder, but you're still worth it. You still are enough, right? So this is how we have our crown. And you know, we all go through those moments where we go up and down, where we're like, yes, I got my crown on, and then other times it falls off. Or you got to find a substitute for it. But I'm gonna tell you what came in the mail. I don't know if any of you guys saw my post, but I posted this came in the mail for me yesterday. It's from the Audi dealership. I don't own an Audi, okay? They had no reason to send me anything, but they sent me something. So that's one of first and foremost thing. But read what it said. First of all, I got my name on it. But read what it say. This year, stir things up. I said, you know what, universe, okay, you know what, when the universe speaks to you, you got to listen. You got to pay attention. So it's time to stir things up. So I'm like, all right, give me the pot. Let's do this. We're going to stir this thing up. So that means you got to be ready. You got to be obedient. And see, that's what Evelyn was talking about the other day, you know, just showing up and just not just showing up with your crown, but showing up and being obedient, right? And so I was just talking to a sister last night about some things that I wanted in my life that I wanted to do. And she immediately jumped on it. And I was like, okay, but that wasn't it. See, I just got off a call. I'm just going to tell y'all what I just did. What's about to come down the pike. I'm so stinking excited. You guys are the first people to hear this. I'm about to, Lord, it's you. It's you. Because I'm about to be on this whole campaign about you are enough. But you are enough with the legendary Les Brown. I don't know if y'all don't know who this man is. But if you don't, you need to Google him. He's beyond Googleable. Figure out who this man is. And for me to be able to work with him in this space, and this is something that I've been always wanting to do, and it's all coming, and it's coming, and I didn't expect for this to happen the way it happened today. And granted, success comes at a cost. I want everyone to understand that your life comes at a cost. Your queendom comes at a cost because you are enough. You are enough. You are worthy. You are worthy to invest in yourself. You are worthy to stand tall in your kingdom, stand tall in your queendom, right? You just have to, because if you don't, nobody else will. Nobody else will recognize that crown that's on your head if you don't even understand that it's there, whether it's invisible or not. That's why y'all told me that I was just dancing. I was like, yes, because you got to be excited. You got to be excited. And I don't even know really what the whole thing is going to entail, but I'm just excited. I'm excited because it came, because it's there, because I'm listening, because I'm being obedient, because that's what my crown. Because earlier today, my cousin asked me how we do temperature checks. Tanisha, she was on a couple weeks ago. And I said, you know what? She said, how are you feeling today? And I said, you know what? I said, I'm okay. I said, but not in a bad way. I said, I'm just kind of stuck. I said, but not in a bad way. I said, I'm stuck. I'm stuck to the point of I got so many things going on that are great. But I'm like, which one do I work on? Like, that's the stuck. Like, that's a good stuck to be, right? What do I work on? Where do I put my energy? Because I got so many different things. Where does my energy need to go? Because as women, we trick ourselves and think we can do this and do that and do a whole bunch of different things. And we doing a whole bunch of nothing. So we need to be able to take that moment and sit still, be still, but yet be ready. So that way, all the different things that you have, that you started, that you worked on, the things that are destined for you, that are on the road for your journey, that as soon as you get to that rest stop, as soon as you get there and it's time for you to go, then you'll have everything that you need to continue you on that path. But if you're still trying to look at this map and you're trying to go, well, I'm going to go this way, then that way, and find all these shortcuts, you'll never make it. You'll get lost. And then you'll just keep spinning and you'll just keep spinning. And that's why I said I felt stuck. And then let me tell you, I seriously got unstuck. And did I move with fear? Oh yeah. Did I have a a pit in my stomach or in my chest? Like, what am I doing? I don't have this to invest in this, but yes, I do. Because if you brought it to me, you're going to bring me through it. Absolutely. All day, every day. So I'm excited. I'm excited to be here. I'm excited for you guys to really showcase Wendy, because her thing is such, like, we, like, for Chaz and myself and all of us, we're all in this fitness and weight loss and nutrition and things of, which is going to keep us whole. But yet you have an individual, you have people out there that, and if you saw the Salt and Pepper movie, Salt just admitted that she was bulimic. All that time during, push it real good, she was pushing her finger down her throat to make sure she kept the image, because she was too curvy. Now curves is what you need. Now I'm too skinny. So, but that's a whole nother story. But, but I mean, I'm just saying, like, it goes with the theme that you are enough. So if that's what my crown got readjusted, they're saying you are enough and you are worthy of all the things that I have in store for you. You just have to be still and be obedient to the instructions and the directions that I'm giving you. That's it. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Yeah, come through with the left right
earlier.
We get him in on some personal development too.
Yeah. This thing.
You gotta be hungry.
You gotta be hungry. I'm ready to eat.
You weren't even on earlier.
Don't complain when you play the school. And I wasn't complaining because I said I wanted to eat. I said I was hungry.
Right.
There we go.
Here we go. Miss Carol, you weren't even on earlier when I said God is speaking that across the board. Rest and be still. And then here you come with your
I didn't hear any of that.
And all awakened self confirming exactly what he said. And that's how you know when God is on the move. He is very strategic in what he does. And we thank you for connecting us with Miss Wendy. Very powerful testimony and story. And she enlightened us. She really enlightened us here tonight, and we definitely appreciate that. Doc Ock, let's go, baby, because I know you. I don't know. I might. Doc Ock, about to
real quick, and she killed it on her nutrition basic course. I'm just gonna say that's
actually my crown adjusting moment. So
okay.
I've always kind of been told by like my friends and family and stuff, like, you real good at science, like you should be a teacher. I was like, a teacher? and then I'm avoiding it all this time. Boom. Now I'm a teacher. So that was definitely like my crown adjusting moment. Like, don't sell yourself short. Like, there's people who can absolutely learn from you, and you're the one that can teach it to them. So I really had to accept not only who I was, like, fully, but all of the gifts that I have. And it's like, you can't kind of pick and choose the cherries on top. So I really got humbled and just really grateful. Like I said, being grateful, like, not just for things outside of yourself, but being grateful for yourself. Like, I was really grateful for putting in the work, like my whole, like, that's 32 years of culminated into that moment. Like, all the stuff I studied in school, me pursuing my degree, like all that stuff, and then making sure I was in the spaces where I could meet someone like Miss Carolyn Wilson to really give me that opportunity, and for me to actually take it and go through with it. So that was a big moment for me, and I'm excited for what's to come next. So I'm just keeping as you saw he was adjusting it right now with my daughter, because she was all on and digging in the middle of it in my hair. So it's the crown adjustments come figuratively and actually. So, I'm prepared for all of them.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
You're muted. Shannon's muted. Wendy, we got to take over.
We got to take over. Let's take over.
Doc, thank you so much, for your comments. Thank you so much, as always, for your participation. We have a comment from our co-host, Michelle Virginia. She says, "Thanks, Queens, for your hearts of service and blessing us with your gifts. Great show." So she's giving you all a shout out. And we absolutely, again, we love you, Michelle. We miss you. And, rest. That's what she's doing. She's resting and being still right now because that is what Daddy ordered. So I am going to close out with my crown adjustment for the week. And I'm going to kind of take this in a different direction. So bear with me while I pull this thing up really fast. Okay, so it's something that the young lady said in the video clip earlier. Another quote later on, she said, one second. All right. She said, when I told you loving you almost makes life worth it, I wasn't joking. When I tell you that loving you almost makes me forget how much I hate myself, it is not poetry. Loving you is taking all the love all the love I could not give myself and putting it to good use. So when I first heard this, when I went searching for our video clip for this week, and I heard this thing really hit me hard. And again, as I went through my coaching sessions, she hit on some things. It was just confirmation. My coach, Miss Justina Peterson, hit on some things that kind of lined up with this. And so I've had a pretty emotional, traumatizing kind of a week. Okay. And it has not been easy. It has not been comfortable. And like Queen Chaz said, when God has you adjust your crown, it hurts. It's not always pretty. It's not always comfortable, and it doesn't always feel good. And sometimes I just want to take this crown and throw it up against the wall. Okay. And just stomp on it. But I've learned, because I'm a caregiver. So I work in hospice. And I've gotten to the point in my life where I'm kind of, I feel stuck in reverse. Okay. I'm frustrated with life because it seems like I can care for everybody else. It seems like I can support everybody else. I can give everyone else the love, the time, the attention, the energy, the space, whatever it is that they need. I'm able to give that out. But when it comes to that investment into myself and actually making those things, that time and the results of those things may manifest, it's difficult, or it'll happen and then it quickly crumbles. It's not long standing, and it's very, very frustrating. So just to give you a snippet or speak into where I'm kind of at right now, but how God has had me adjust my crown is realizing that I myself need to rest. Everything isn't my assignment. Everyone isn't my assignment. Every place isn't my assignment. You can't go everywhere. You can't connect with everyone. You can't say yes to everything, right? And so what happened is, because I am very familiar with trauma, as I just kind of, meditated on tonight's show and just this question alone, the word trauma bond came up. And this is something that I've dealt with. So I'm going to read the definition of it. And it says, trauma bonding is a psychological response to abuse. It occurs when the abused person forms an unhealthy bond with the person who abuses them. So one thing we have to realize is that we can create trauma bonds, not with just people, but with places and with things. Sometimes we, get into these situations, or we stay connected in places or locations that are traumatizing to us. like a job, for instance. When I talk about, I'm a caregiver for my first job, my daytime job. I'm a caregiver. So because I am so used to loving on everybody else, because I'm so used to giving out love, supporting other people and just pouring out, pouring out, pouring out. What has happened is I've created this trauma bond, and I've gotten so comfortable, or I've gotten so used to being there, that in order for me to separate from it, it's causing me more trauma. Is actually damaging my faith, is damaging my strength, is damaging my courage. And so it's almost like when I get to that point where, like, okay, I need to step away from this thing, I begin to panic. And I begin to have anxiety, and it does not work out well for me. So I have been instructed to really step away this weekend from everything, everybody, and get out of my space, my current space right now, to shut down and to completely rest. That means, once again, I will be stepping inside of my Father's ICU trauma unit. Okay, and just to kind of give you a backstory about my coaching business, it's called ICU Trauma Coaching. Number one, because that is where God had me in the beginning of 2020. Okay. And ICU trauma was birthed from a childhood friend of mine's who passed away. And I seen him coming out of statistically, he should have been a drug addict and he should have been a deadbeat father. But I seen him loving life, finding a way to beat life every day. But I never said anything to him. I never told him that I saw him, right? So that's where ICU came from. But then, because God does this thing with me, so he turned it and he flipped it, he added another layer to it. So he wants people to know that I see you. He wants you to know that I see you, right? And when he puts you in his ICU trauma unit, because it's you, what he will do then is hook you up to his life support system, okay? And what that means is, when you're in isolation, and you're in the ICU unit, you are not allowed to have visitors, maybe one, maybe two, but not many, if at all, depending on your condition. And so this past year, I was shut down, and I wasn't allowed to be around my children. I wasn't allowed to be around people that I love. I was just completely isolated. On the flip side of that, so the third thing to this is, for my coaching clients, when we talk about ICU, as you are being coached, it's letting your trauma know that I see you, trauma. I see you, trauma. So you're letting your trauma know that you see it. Okay. You're exposing your trauma to itself. Let it know that I see your face, I hear your voice, and I recognize you for what you are. And being able to stand up in front of your trauma and basically face the quiet monster, and the quiet monster that has been hiding under your bed for so long and hiding in your closet for so long, that has just been there tormenting you and terrorizing you, but you really didn't know what it was. So anyway, that has been how God has had me straighten my crown, just by exposing again, remembering, realizing, recognizing these trauma bonds that I have gotten myself into, and pouring out, like the young lady said. When again, I'm gonna read it again. She said, "When I told you, loving you almost makes life worth it, I wasn't joking. When I tell you that loving you almost makes me forget how much I hate myself, it is not poetry. Loving you is taking all of the love I could not give myself and put it into good use." That last line, loving you is taking all the love I could not give myself and putting it to good use is the trauma bond that I have been allowing to live and allowing to control who I am, how I operate, where I go, how I think. And so God has pulled back the sheet on that and exposed it for what it is. So that is how He has had me straighten my crown this week by absolutely dropping everything, everybody. Saying no to them is saying yes to myself, and spending quiet time in His presence to be rejuvenated, revived, and refreshed. And that is it. Everyone is muted now. Miss Wendy, you're muted.
I didn't have a mic, but I just used my pen and just dropped it.
Wendy, you're muted.
That was beautiful and amazing and so very true. So very true.
It's been
very
one of those weeks. It's been one of those weeks. And so again, ladies, we thank you so much for tuning in. Yes. Queen Wendy, Queen Chaz, Queen Carolyn Wilson, Queen Evelyn, Queen Doc Ock, she dropped off. We just want to thank everyone, and Queen Michelle for tuning in, Queen Selena, all of the queens that are in our chat room, and the queens that are in our chat room blowing up the spot. We thank you so very much. Before we go, you can find us. Listen, we have so many different segments to this thing. You can find us everywhere. Okay, we're on Facebook, we're on YouTube. We have Rock Singles, we have RockTrue Queens, we have Rock Youth, Rock Truth, we have Cafe Live on Saturdays, we have Rock Truth on Friday nights. Listen, we are absolutely in the Renaissance business. We are doing what we are called to do across the board, and we are allowing God to have His way. You can find us on YouTube at Rock Truth Radio. Please hit that like, subscribe button, share for us for the one time, okay? We love y'all so very much. Thank you again, and do not forget to adjust your crowns.
I love it.
So wave.